Hello everyone. This is page 151, the analysis, the song by Schumann. And before we start the analysis, I want to look at the instructions. Label the chords with Roman numerals. The Italian augmented sixth chord in measure 4 will be discussed in chapter 22. And here it says use your imagination and your ear in analyzing the last chord in measure 2. I will post a link so you can listen to the recording, and if you have access to a keyboard, if you can even just play the chords at the beginning, it'd be very interesting to hear the last chord in measure 2. So we'll come back to that. For now, I want to look overall. The song has a key with 2 flats. You see it starts on G, has F sharp. It ends on a D chord with F sharp, so this is obviously G minor. At the beginning, there's single notes presented, but if you see G, B flat, that's implying a 1 chord. And then A to C, that's ambiguous. Let's just leave it. And here we get our first chord, D, F sharp, A, C, which is 5, 7 in the key of G minor. I'm going to bring this in just a little bit closer. Now, if we didn't know what was coming next, we would expect a 1 chord. We have a strong 5-7, and we actually get a 4 chord. This is a bit of a surprise, and the 4 chord going to 1. Here, we get an A emphasized with C, E, and G. That chord would be A, C, E flat, G, which is the 2 diminished, half diminished, 4, 2, and G minor. And then we get this chord that it says to use your imagination for. Let's look at this. D, F, A flat. This is a D diminished chord. That is not a diatonic chord in the key of G minor because of the A flat. Come back to that in a second. Right here, we've got G, B natural, D, and F. So this is a G7 chord. This is a chromatically altered chord. It's a major triad with a minor 7th, G, B, D, and F natural. So G7 is going to be a 5-7 of something. G is 5 in the key of C. C is 4 in the key of G. So this is 5-7 of 4. And since F is in the bass, it's a 4-2. I'm going to write it up here for clarity. 5-4-2 of 4. This does resolve to C minor, which is the 4 chord. And it's in first inversion. The 7th and the bass resolve down to the 3rd. Here now, the bass circles around D, and we get our D7 chord returning. So this is our 5-7, taking us to 1. Confirming our tonic key, 5-7 to 1, perfect authentic cadence before the voice comes in. So let's go back and look at this chord right here. This is a chromatically altered chord, and for now, a chromatically altered chord could be a secondary dominant or a secondary leading tone chord. Those are the 2 that we've worked with. Since this is not a major triad with a minor 7th or a major triad, it can't be a secondary 5-7 chord. D diminished is a diminished chord. That could function as 7 of something. But if that were 7, D is a leading tone to E flat, and E flat is 6 in the key of G. So I'm just going to write up here, D diminished could be 7 diminished of E flat, but then we would expect it to go to E flat, and that is not what happens in this piece. D diminished actually goes to G7 and goes to C. This is something that we haven't talked about yet, but if you look at this progression right here is actually 2, 5, 1 in the key of C minor. So this D is actually a secondary 2 chord. Okay. So this spot could be analyzed this way. 2 half diminished 4, 2 of 4 to 5, 4, 2 of 4 to 4, 6. That's one possible analysis. A possibly more elegant way to do this could be 2 half diminished 4, 2. Sorry, that's not 4, 2, it's 6, 5. 6, 5 to 5, 4, 2 to 1, 6, all of 4. Okay. So this chord right here is part of the tonicization of the 4 chord. This 4 chord has a 5 chord leading to it. That's 5 of 4. And this 5 chord has a 2 chord leading to it. That's 2 of 4. So basically in this spot we go 2, 5, 1 in the key of C minor. This is beyond what would be expected of you on tests or quizzes, but it's an interesting spot nonetheless. The rest of the piece is fairly simple compared to that beginning. Here we've got a G minor chord. It's 1. They tell you what this is, that this is an Italian augmented sixth, and I'll just explain it in case you're interested. So here the augmented sixth is from E flat to C sharp, and an augmented sixth expands out to an octave on the dominant chord. Okay, so if we're in G minor, the Italian augmented sixth has lay, which goes to so, and T, which goes to so. Okay, that's the augmented sixth, and then if you add in this note, which is tonic or do, that makes it an Italian augmented sixth chord. So an Italian augmented sixth chord is lay, do, fi. You don't need this until theory 3, but it's here, so I thought I'd tell you about it. Here's a 5 chord. Now here we get our B natural, so we're expecting a 1, but we get a modified 1. It's a major chord, so that 1 is actually 5 of 4, which goes to 4. And here we get F, A, E flat. F sharp, A, C, E flat. It's an F sharp, a diminished chord with C in the bass. That is our 7 diminished 4, 3, going directly to 1, which is a little odd. We move to 1, 6 at the end of the measure, and we head into the final line. This is 4, 1, 6, 4, 1, 6, and the final cadence. 4. Here we go. C sharp, E, G, B flat. That is a C sharp fully diminished 7th. Since this is a chromatically altered chord, it's a diminished chord. This is diminished 7 of some. The root is C sharp, so there's a leading tone to D, and D is 5 in the key of G minor. So this is 7, diminished 7 of 5, going to 5. And at the very end of the measure, we get the 7 added in. These notes right here are primarily neighbor notes and pen note. From a diminished chord, but not anything we need to worry about right now. However, that C diminished, which is what it was. We get 7, 5 going 5, 5, reminiscence of this C sharp to 7th chord, embellish. And the analysis, I hope if you look at and have fun. Listen to the recording. You can play the keyboard instrument or sing them. You should do so soon.